Hi, this is Stephanie. So today we're going to talk about family medical leave, also called FMLA, as it relates to adoption. So let me preface this by saying, if I can say that word, preference this by saying that I am not an attorney, and therefore this is not legal advice and not in lieu of seeking legal advice. So if you work for a company that has an HR department, be sure you talk with them. And then if not, you can also be sure you talk with an adoption attorney as well. So this is just more for informational purposes today. So I'm Stephanie A. I am the founder and executive director at Adoption and Beyond, and I help families bring home the child of their dreams through adoption. So one of the questions that I get often is adoption covered under medical leave? And the short answer is yes, if your company has family medical leave. So that will be important because some companies are smaller and they're not required to offer medical leave. So it is important to know that if your company does offer medical leave, then adoption is covered underneath that. However, the biggest issue is whether that leave is paid. So commonly you'll find that it's not covered paid leave for adoption. That's pretty common that it's not. And they'll make the argument that, you didn't give birth and cover, recovering from pregnancy and delivery. However, I can argue that adoption leave is probably more important, that it be paid and covered and needed because you need to attach and bond to that child that you just adopted. So when you're giving birth, you begin attaching and bonding to your child while you're pregnant with them. But when it comes to adoption, you receive STEFFANY, and that child has been removed from their birth family and have experienced trauma. So it's really important that you help your child through that trauma and to be able to help attach and bond to you. So I really think that families, having a conversation early with your company about whether medical leave for adoption is paid or not, it can help you set and to be an advocate for arguing of why it should be paid and why that is so important to be able to have that time to attach and bond to your child. So let's talk about what family medical leave is, FMLA. So it is a protection that was passed by the federal government to allow for covered entities to allow people to take time off for family and medical leave, and that your job is protected if you have to take this time off for those reasons. Another reason that family medical leave for adoption is so important is because sometimes your adoption will not occur in the state that you live. So then you have to leave the state to be able to spend time in that state while something is being processed that is called ICPC, which is Interstate Compact to Protection of Children, which when a child is across state lines, there is a whole lot of paperwork that needs to be transferred between one state to another to verify that this adoption is being done legally. And so that can take up to 7 to 10 days, depending on when it happens. If it's over the holiday, it could be even longer than that. So it's even more important with adoption that the family medical leave that be covered and paid for by your employer. So just to kind of recap, it's important to know that if your company is covered underneath the Medical Leave Act, that adoption is included in that and you are protected. But the bigger issue is that most of the times it's not paid. So just know that. Advocate early for yourself and try to get them to see it differently and to get it paid. So remember, when it comes to adoption, you got to start somewhere.